You're 16, gazing through the window of an Amtrak train you secured for $49. Up ahead, an engineer's hand rests on the throttle, a control entirely beyond your reach. 3 decades from now, that hand will be yours, earning you $315,381 in a single year. Spanning these two moments lies a machine valued at $4 million and a train weighing 95,000 tons. 2 individuals in the cab, that's the entire crew. This is a comprehensive look at every stage of becoming a locomotive engineer and the true cost of advancing in this career. That's what Level by Level is all about. If you like career breakdowns with real numbers and no fluff, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Level 1. The railfan. You're 16 and trains are your sole focus. You stand at grade crossings, counting cars until the barriers rise. You operate a Lionel train set on your living room floor, memorizing horn signals by heart. You mount a GoPro on the main line, capturing footage no one watches. You purchase a scanner radio, listening to the dispatcher late into the night, and by spring, you can predict train meets before they occur. Rail fans have a term for you: foamer. Some utter it as an insult. You wear it as a badge. Then you turn 21, and your dream encounters reality in the application process. You undergo a digital assessment testing math and safety logic. You successfully navigate a panel interview, and only then does a conditional offer arrive, accompanied by a drug screening. You pass the screening. The offer becomes concrete. Here's a truth no one shares with the kid at the crossing. You can't be directly hired to operate a train. Almost every freight engineer in America begins on the ground, manually coupling air hoses. Your $49 ticket granted you a window seat, never the one in front. You stop observing trains and start monitoring job boards, and you wait. The offer letter specifies a report date. You attend. Level 2. The brakeman. Level 2 begins in the yard, at the very bottom of the seniority roster. You're 22, and the railroad guarantees you around $52,000 to start. The first-year average is approximately $67,000. You report to the yard on immediate call, regardless of the time. Your tools are the ground: a switch key, a lantern, a grip, a handheld radio, and a rulebook. You build trains for a living. You receive a switch list. You connect car sections. You manually link air hoses between cars. You charge the brake pipe and build air pressure, watching the gauges climb until the train mobilizes. You inspect the entire train for proper set and release, then affix the flashing rear end device, Fred, to the last coupler. It transmits brake pipe pressure to the cab every 40 seconds. Your first solo night, you secure a cut of cars with handbrakes in the rain. You set one incorrectly, the section rolls a foot, and the foreman is already on the radio before you regain your composure. You correct it. The next set holds. You must maintain an 85% score on running tests to qualify for in-service training. Further down the seniority list, a BNSF conductor named Justin Schaff once skipped a dentist appointment to attend his son's 7th birthday, having exhausted all his sick days. You cease making weekend plans. A veteran speaks over the radio after your set. "That'll do." 2 words. That's the full extent of the praise. Then the yard falls silent. Level 3, the road conductor. Level 3 places you in command of the train you once assembled. You're 26, and the railroad designates you conductor in charge. Pay ranges from approximately $67,000 to over $90,000. You are the train's boss, yet often the least experienced person in the cab. The engineer next to you has 2 decades of experience. You have 3 years. You transcribe the track warrant from the radio and repeat every word back. Misstate a single digit, and the dispatcher aborts the movement. You conduct the on-duty briefing, inspect the locomotive power, and perform the initial terminal air test. You acknowledge signals, manage setouts en route, and yard the train at the destination terminal. 2 people in the cab, 95,000 tons behind you. The defect detector broadcasts no defects over the radio. You no longer reach for the rulebook. It resides in your memory now. Then comes the night you'll never forget. A car stops on the crossing. Headlights, then nothing. You initiate an emergency stop. The train requires more than a mile to halt. The cab becomes eerily quiet. You descend with a lantern and manage the scene until law enforcement arrives. An Amtrak conductor named Orrin Ray from Oakland articulated it clearly. As the conductor, you own the situation until the authorities are there to take over. You complete the paperwork in the cab before allowing yourself to tremble. The next morning, you're back on the board. Here's what the kid at the crossing never anticipated. You don't choose to become an engineer. The railroad mandates it through seniority, and refusing can terminate your career. The order arrives, report to engineer school. You sign it. Level 4, the student engineer. Level 4 takes the rule book from your hands and places them on the throttle. You're 30, spending hours each day in a classroom and a full-motion simulator. You master the throttle's 8 notches and the reverser behind it. You apply the independent brake, notch out to ascend a grade, and utilize the dynamic brake to descend the opposite side. You read every wayside signal aloud. The rule asserts that you articulate whatever you observe. This certification is a federal mandate, codified in 49 CFR Part 240. You demonstrate proficiency across approximately 20 distinct skill areas over a span of 5 to 6 months. Pre-departure routines are consistently identical. You board, verify fluid levels and sand, test the ditch lights, position the reverser, confirm independent brake functionality, engage the air system, pressurize the brake pipe, and execute a set and release sequence. Following confirmation on the screen, you release and advance the throttle. In the simulator, you miscalculate the slack on an extended train, causing the cars to collide forcefully. The instructor engineer pauses the simulation and guides you through the process once more. On the subsequent run, the slack distributes smoothly. Then the screen goes dark. You cease reciting signals from a written list. You perceive them before they fully manifest. Dan Cupper, a retired Norfolk Southern engineer, served as editor for the railroad's historical journal. He was the grandson and great-grandson of railroaders. You undertake the final certification ride with a designated supervisor in the jump seat. He evaluates the run, endorses the certificate, and officially you are a certified engineer. The locomotive you now operate carries a price tag of $3 to $4 million. You've never controlled a throttle for compensation, and now one is yours. Level 5 is the seat itself. Level 5. The locomotive engineer. You're 35 and finally occupy that seat. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average engineer earns $37.21 per hour, totaling $77,400 annually. $37.21 while operating a $4 million machine. Secure a senior position on a lucrative freight route, and wages can surpass $130,000. Transition into a commuter pool, and the financial landscape shifts. An analysis by the Empire Center projected Long Island Railroad engineers earning over $160,000 by 2025. Overtime, however, proves to be a trap, not a benefit. In that same year, a Long Island Railroad conductor, Winsome Cameron, earned $243,365. The day still commences with the familiar checklist: an on-duty briefing, boarding the power unit, pre-departure inspection, and the initial air test. You accelerate upon the signal and navigate the territory solely by its aspects. You skillfully blend the dynamic brake and air brake to maintain control of the train on lengthy grades, the slack extending and compressing beneath your touch throughout the descent. A red signal at speed represents the ultimate test. You hold your position, the signal clears, and the train proceeds. You stop driving home. You rest in the away terminal between assignments. SEPTA's pioneering female engineer, Petty John, retired in January 2025 after 40 years, holding the top spot on the roster, having been hired in 1984. She maintained a flawless attendance record throughout her career. Your own name begins its ascent on that very roster. Level 6 is where you transition from operating to overseeing. Level 6. The road foreman of engines. You're 50, having outlasted most of the individuals above you on the seniority roster. Average compensation is approximately $105,000 at BNSF, less at Amtrak, and higher at peak levels. You no longer operate trains. Instead, you certify those who do, adhering to 49 CFR, Part 240. You arrange the ride, brief the candidate, and take your place in the jump seat. You closely observe their hand on the throttle and their eyes on the signals. A lapse in either means the ride concludes immediately. You assess approximately 20 competencies, retrieve the event recorder data, and analyze it line by line. Pass or fail hinges on your signature. It's that straightforward. Endorse an unqualified individual, and you place a mile of freight in incapable hands, so you don't. Dale Danowitz, a BNSF road foreman, retired from the Mandan Territory in 2024 after 48 years of service that began before half the current roster was born. He stated it unequivocally. From the engineer seat, I've seen the industry change with big improvements in safety and technology. You cease tallying your own miles and begin counting theirs. The pinnacle of the roster signifies the most desirable runs, the best days off, the seat no one can displace. On the Long Island Railroad, the highest-paid engineer, Peterson, earned $315,381 in a single year. The child at the crossing never anticipated this position. What remains isn't a higher rung, but rather a perspective back down. 40 years ago, you stood at a grade crossing, counting rail cars. You journeyed on an Amtrak train for $49, your face pressed against the glass. You couldn't manipulate the throttle, nor could you discern the engineer's face. Now, the throttle isn't something you strive to operate. It's something you officially approve. When the two-person crew regulation became effective on April 2, 2024, more than 13,500 people had submitted comments, ensuring two individuals remained in the cab, the same crew configuration you started with. This ascent cost you weekends, holidays, 1,000 nights, and time spent in distant terminals. You'd choose the same seat again in the same manner. The largest paychecks invariably went to the most perpetually fatigued individuals on the commuter board, and you were aware of this the entire time. That's what level by level is all about. If you like career breakdowns with real numbers and no fluff, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. In the yard below, a new conductor trainee is manually connecting air hoses. He rode the same $49 ticket you rode at 16. And the front seat now commands over $315,000 annually. He too cannot yet be hired to operate a train. You schedule his certification ride for a morning many years from now. Today, you settle into the jump seat behind your own student. You observe a hand closing on the throttle for the very first time. You give a single nod. The signal turns green. You sound the horn. Long, long, short, long, and the train accelerates,